Hi everybody, we're going to do a Q&A. We're going to talk about cotton suits. So we're going to talk about what makes cotton suits great, what are some of the pitfalls of cotton suits, how do you order one, what are some good colors, and how do you wear them. So let's get started. This is one of, if not my favorite cotton suit. It's made by Taylor Cade. It's made in an Ivy style, so 3-button like this. It's made in a very heavyweight cotton, and I've had it for a couple years, and it's a good illustration of like what makes cotton so interesting as a suit material. You know, like with cotton, you find that the color fades a little bit. It's got these great big wrinkles that are very kind of comfortable to look at. And you know, with a cotton suit, like you can dress it up a little bit, like I am today, with a necktie and with a shirt, or you can dress it down. You can wear it with a polo and a sweater, something like that as well. Like cotton suit is very versatile, but definitely leaning on the side of casual. And you know, depending on what you do with it, it can be a really interesting style statement as well. What are some of the pitfalls of working with cotton suits? Right. So first is obviously you have to accept the wrinkles, and the wrinkles will be, in my opinion, like much more comfortable to look at when it's in a heavyweight cotton versus when it's in a lightweight cotton. I'll show you an example. Like with a lightweight cotton, you get these little micro wrinkles, you know, and this is why like I don't necessarily recommend cotton suits so much in the summer. I actually think they're better mid-season and even like in colder weather. So for me, the general rule is really like the floor is maybe 8 ounce. I wouldn't go lower than 8 ounces for a cotton suit, but I would definitely go all the way up to like 12, 13 ounces for a cotton suit. Like this is a 13-ounce cotton suit. Today in Hong Kong, it's about 17 degrees Celsius, and it's really comfortable outside. It's lovely. You know, I wear cotton suits sometimes in the summer, but for me, like once it gets into like high 20s, I'm like, I'm gonna go back to a wool suit now. With cotton, you know, cotton has no stretch in it whatsoever. It's not like wool, where with a bit of crimp in the fiber, like it has a little bit of give. This does not. So when you commission a cotton suit, you should always be thinking about, well, it should be a little bit on the loose side rather than a little bit on the tight side or just right. Because, and I'll show you, if you do it just on the dot, like correct, it will actually backfire on you. When you have a cotton suit, and you say, give it to the dry cleaners, or you've worn it for a while, and you're starting to see the wrinkles kind of make the sleeve ride up, for instance, firstly is you'll want to let that sleeve out, right? Because this is pretty short for me. It should be maybe another 2 centimeters at least longer. And when I want to let this out, I will have to deal with this. The discoloration at the edge of the cotton like that, like there's nothing you can really do about that. And then also, if I open it up, you will also see the stitch marks. So when I let this out, I'm going to have this kind of lighter colored ring going all the way around, and then potentially even showing some stitch marks from where the lining was stitched to the outer fabric. You just have to either accept it or make sure you don't do it. You can definitely take cotton suits in, you can definitely shorten cotton trousers, you can definitely shorten cotton sleeves, but the minute you start letting things out, you're going to show some little defects that are caused during the manufacture of a cotton garment. It's just how it is. Other things to keep in mind, you know, I was saying that like it has no stretch. If you're thinking about parts like this, like against the back, like I have a little bit of excess here behind the shoulders, so it's comfortable. But if that was like exactly in place with a very clean flat back, that would be pretty uncomfortable to wear, especially if I was like working at a desk, my arms were up, like it would be an issue. So you gotta be careful not to make your cotton suits too trim. In terms of colors, in fact, before we get to colors, let's talk a little bit about mills and merchants that sell cotton fabric. So my personal favorite is Draper's. This is just personal preference. There's a lot of great merchants out there that do cotton. The Loro Piana ones are really, really good as well. The Larismiani ones are wonderful. The Kachopli ones are wonderful. The Harrison's ones are wonderful. Holland Sherry ones are great as well. You know, like there's countless places to get great cotton. But personally, I like the Draper's ones. I like the color selection and the fabric selection that they have. We looked briefly at this lighter one, right? The 7.5 ounce, like for me, it's not so much for me. I know some people like it, but for me, I find it a little too wrinkly. I would jump straight to the back of the book. I would jump all the way back to these heavyweight 13-ounce cottons. You know, and in terms of color, I mean, obviously like the navy is a great place to start, but I love this, the French workwear blue. Oops, that is absolutely not a blue. There it is. This is a wonderful color, and especially if you're someone with a bit of a reddish complexion, this will work great for your skin tone. Like, I always think of Michael Hill, who's a red-headed guy, and he's always in colors like this, and I just think it looks amazing on him. Khakis are always safe, especially if you get a little bit into the lighter tones of khaki. If you have a very pale complexion like me, I really, really like the brown, as so. And in fact, this gives you an idea, like my brown suit actually started more like this. It was a little bit more even, and then over time it started to kind of get worn in like this, which is lovely. Olive, always a safe choice. And you could do even deeper shades of olive, which I think would be lovely. This is kind of underrated, actually, and I feel like I don't see this enough. Stone cotton suits. Although now I think about it, I think there was like a James Bond movie a couple of years back where Daniel Craig was wearing this color suit, and it just looked fantastic. I would definitely recommend this to people. And you know, in the 400 ounce weight, I think this is easily like mid-season to like even winter. You could wear these very comfortably. I've shown you the twills so far, but there's also a bunch of really great canvases like that have just a little bit more of a nubbly texture to them. And then I wanted to put just one last color on your radar, just because I think it's really interesting. This, which we in-house, we normally call this mushroom. It's like a blend of beige, brown, and it has quite a lot of red to it. It's not such a classic menswear color necessarily, but it looks really good. And I would definitely recommend people at least give it a thought. You'll find it from most merchants, this sort of mushroomy color. All right, in terms of how to wear a cotton suit, obviously you can do it like this, shirt and tie. If you're gonna pick a tie, I like things that are a little bit more matte like this. I was lucky, I managed to find a Drake's tie that just had this beautiful peach finish to it that I think really works like alongside that cotton. Because it's fun to have all these like soft, fuzzy textures together. Other things you can consider, obviously a little bit of knitwear like that is wonderful. And polos are great too, depending on the weather. You know, we do this long sleeve polo with a collar that actually sticks up over your jacket collar. So it feels very complete as a tailored look. And then finally, the nice thing with cotton suits is that they're very easy to break up. You know, you'll never feel like a cotton jacket has been orphaned from its trouser. A cotton jacket on its own can look great too. And you know, in a case like that, just pair it with denim. Right? Like that could be a good look too. Alrighty, that's about it for me on cotton suits. If you have any interesting ideas on cotton suits of your own, if you've made any fun commissions over the years, or if you just have more questions, please feel free to leave in the comments, and thank you for watching.